April 6, 1841, unexpected presidency. John Tyler was sworn in as the 10th President of the United States following the death of President William Henry Harrison. This event marked the first time in American history that a vice president assumed the presidency due to the death of a sitting president. Tyler's inauguration set a critical constitutional precedent that shaped the line of presidential succession and reinforced the stability of the American government during a moment of crisis. President William Henry Harrison, inaugurated on March 4, 1841, delivered the longest inaugural address in history, over 8,000 words, while standing in cold, wet weather without a hat or coat. He contracted pneumonia and died just 1 month later, on April 4, 1841, becoming the first U.S. president to die in office. His death raised immediate questions about the proper constitutional procedure for replacing a deceased president. John Tyler, a Virginian statesman and former U.S. Senator, had been selected as Harrison's running mate, largely to appease the Southern wing of the Whig Party. He had not been involved heavily in Harrison's campaign and was largely regarded as a political afterthought. However, upon Harrison's death, Tyler asserted his right to fully assume the office and powers of the presidency, not merely act as a caretaker or acting president. On April 6, 1841, Tyler took the presidential oath of office in Washington, D.C. at Brown's Hotel, where he had been staying. He moved into the White House shortly after. This action was controversial at the time. Members of Congress, particularly some Whigs who distrusted Tyler's views, debated whether the Constitution allowed the vice president to become president or merely to carry out the duties without assuming the full title. Tyler insisted he was the president in every sense. His political opponents mocked him as his accidency, a reference to his unexpected rise to power. Despite opposition, Tyler's interpretation of the Constitution held. He took control of the executive branch, signed legislation, vetoed bills, and made cabinet appointments as president. Over time, his assertion was accepted as custom and later codified in the 25th Amendment to the Constitution in 1967, which clarified that the vice president becomes president upon the death, resignation, or removal of the sitting president. Tyler's presidency was marked by conflict with his own party. Though elected as a Whig, he opposed key elements of the Whig economic program, leading to the resignation of his entire cabinet, except for Secretary of State Daniel Webster. The Whigs eventually expelled him from the party, leaving him politically isolated. Nevertheless, Tyler's defense of presidential authority helped strengthen the executive office and solidified the role of vice president as a direct successor. John Tyler's inauguration on April 6, 1841, was more than a constitutional footnote. It was a defining moment in American political development. It ensured a peaceful transition of power during uncertainty and set a foundation that has guided the nation through future presidential vacancies. For enthusiasts of historical ephemera, visit history-collectors.com to find collectibles that might complement your collection. You can own a piece of history.